Alright, let's get right into it. So we're going to look at some grammar and some vocabulary taken from Matthew 13:24 through 30. Hopefully this will help comprehension and understanding how some of the grammar is set up. I'll try to go over it bit by bit. Apologize about my poor handwriting. It's a little hard to fit everything in here. Anyways, looking at verse 24, I'm going to underline the words, try to underline the words as I go so you could see them. It says Yesu, so Jesus. Hai, says or said, because context tells us whether it's past, present, etc. Dua in this case means another. You can say it can kind of go with the word I is number one, so another one. You could say dua o, dua pe, dua plau, another one, another two, another three, whatever is going to come next. Okay, so the next word is, you'll see this noun class, and I also have NC for short, noun classifier. So in some cases, for example, when there's a specific numeric reference before it, we just see the number one there. And you're going to talk about a noun, you need to classify what kind of a noun it is. So it's not a hard fast rule, but it's a general rule. When there's some sort of numeric reference, then you'll need a noun classifier. So this word right here, zaj, ja, is going to explain something about the noun afterwards. Now, ja is a classifier for poems, for sayings, for proverbs, for songs, anything that kind of falls into that category. So the next word is bi lu. It's really two different words. Bi means to compare, lu means means a word, just generally speaking. So bi lu we could say is an example, a comparison of words. So that kind of goes together. Ja bi lu is a comparison, an example, an illustration, etc. Okay, so dao is two, la is them, as in more than three people or three or more people. Mlong means to listen. I'm going to change the color here so you could see which words I'm actually underlining, because I already underlined a few so you could see that they go together. Okay, hai, said, that, not like you point at an object and say that, but it's more like I told him that, ... Okay, next, ndu is the word for sky or the heavens, like up in the sky, and in some cases in the Bible will go with deng cheng, which is the heavenly realm, the realms above. So together, ndu deng cheng is talking about heaven. Interesting little side note, the original Greek uses basilia, which is the kingdom. They just choose to leave that out for some reason in the Hmong here, but that's not related. So ndu deng cheng is heaven. Bi, to compare. I ya li. So iya is exactly, li is as, so exactly as. So he's going to compare it to something. Bi ya li, I tu. Now normally this would be tus, but because of the B tone that came before it, it changes it to a G. That happens often, tone changes, because of the previous word. It's frustrating when you're looking at words in the dictionary, but normally, again, that'd be an S there. TUS is a noun classifier, so we just had a number one here. So noun classifier after a numeric reference. TUS is a noun classifier, in this case for people, a person. So you could say it's kind of like in this context, the kingdom of heavens is compared exactly as a person. So it's taking, this noun classifier is taking the place of the word a person. Okay, what did that person do? We'll go down to the next line. It says mua, sorry, it's a little crooked. Mua, to take. Nong, seed. Zhong, the adjective comes after the noun, so it's good seed. J, so he took good seed and then it's an implied word and then spread. J is to broadcast, like you would seed. Dao hao, these kind of go together to mean into. Nu, it really means he, but in this case, because of context, it's possessive. Generally, when you have possessive, if you're gonna possess something, you'll use either a noun classifier, which we have here, or the word li in place of the classifier. But in this case, it says his dai, noun classifier for flat, paper-like or flat, plane-like objects, and then they, a field, is afterwards. So it's describing this. They is not another definition like the word answer, but it means a field specifically. Okay, so let's go to verse 25. Tao win. Stop drawing those crooked lines. Okay. Shao de, everyone. Zhou zhou, sleep. Lo. Lo means, I wrote already, really what it means is it's implying that this is something that's a completed action. It's a completed action. So they are not about to go to sleep. They're not up in the process of falling asleep, but they are asleep already. It's completed. It makes good sense here. Sometimes as we go on, you'll see where it's necessary not just to say already, but it means a completed action. Okay, so nu, his, it's possessive, so we need a noun classifier, tus, a person, in this case, yang jua, an enemy, so his enemy. So can mean then, therefore. Tua, come. He's come to a place that's not his home, so we use tua instead of law, los. J, again, he's spreading or broadcasting. Nong, good. I'm sorry, the seed, it's actually bad seed. Cao, I wrote bad seed because the context of the scripture, that's the word they use. The Ernest Steinbeck dictionary says this is a type of grain smaller than millet, meant as horse feed. The original Greek probably is bearded darnel. It's a poisonous seed, okay? But in any case, according to the dictionary, Hmong people will probably understand this to mean that horse feed grain that some may be familiar with. Okay, next word, xiao, to mix. Zhao, to or into. They, now they is a word to show something is plural, but it has an added implication or shade of meaning that it's various different things. So it's not one single group per se of something that's the same. And then nong, okay, seed, and here's the type of seed it is, mog, mo, which is wheat. So nong mo, wheat seed, there. Then j is not the same per se as zao, but j implies one thing happened, then you say the word j, and then something else happened because of it. So it's kind of like, if this happens, then that happens. And that's why we use zao after there. So then, therefore, kia, he ran, lo. So we can't say already, he ran already or he run already. That doesn't even make sense. But if we think of it as a completed action, it means that he ran to a finish. He ran away. It would be kind of like in English saying he ran away. But the point is that when it used lao there, the point is that he ran, and he didn't get halfway out of the field. He's gone now. Okay. So verse 26, tao win, they, various, or the group of, mo, wheat. Tua, in this case, come means to come out of the ground. Tia, also. Cao means to spring up, like a spring of water, or in this case, plants. Lo, again, so now they've completed coming out of the ground. They, various, were the groups of cao, the bad seed, the bad plant. Gu, also. Hla, another word for it to grow up, to become big. It can only be used in some contexts. To add to that thought, hla, it didn't just get big, but it chu, appear. Tua, that kind of comes together. Chu, tua, like it popped up. Tiem, in this case, means also. Okay, So next, verse 27, tu, noun classifier for a person in this case. Ju, J. Ju means Lord, J means house, but really together it kind of means householder, the Lord of the house, the guy who owns the house, the head of the house. Okay, jaw is used in contrast with they, Tej. In this case, jaw refers to it pluralizes a group of the same thing. Sometimes it's a gray line, like in this context of these scriptures, but usually they refers to various things. Jaw refers to one group of things. It can be jaw blaha, the hairs on your head. It can be jaw day, the waters, because that's not a great example. But anyways, hopefully you could see kind of a different shade of meaning between the two. Okay, so the kei, slaves, as there's an S because of this word jaw before. Also noteworthy that when you use they, you can use a noun classifier afterwards. When you use jaw, jaw is a noun classifier, so you would not use another noun classifier. You couldn't say jaw tu kei. Couldn't say that. Okay, so then, therefore, law come, they came to a place that they were familiar with. It was their own field. Hai, to say, dao, to, nu, him, tia, that. Okay, this expression, ya law, is like old or grown up. It's just a way of showing respect for a man, kind of like the word mister. It's not perfect comparison, but they show respect for him. Okay, ga, you, J, spread, jaw, plural, nong, seed. So because of the pluralizer, nong becomes seeds. Good, zhong. So they were good seed. All that together. Jiao nong zhong is good seed. Zhao hao, into. Ga, your. Now, again, it's possessive, as we're going to see from the next thing. Because it's possessive, you will see a noun classifier. So it's saying flat, plain-like object, which again is they, the field. Dai they, ga dai they. And then there's the expression law. In this case, it means or. Ji ya, not. Or is that not the case? So basically they're saying, hey, it's like the English expression, didn't you put good seed into your field? But really it's saying you put good seed into your field or not? Like a question, but it has the feeling of that previous English expression, okay? Ocha, oli is a shortened version of olicha, and it means why. Ha is kind of like then, it's a pause in a sentence. Toa, so in this case it says come, but really it means to grow up, to come out of the ground. Cao, the bad version of wheat. Tia also. Okay, we're going to scroll down just a bit, hopefully. Alright, let's look at verse 28. Nu he, hai said, zhao tu, lo, them, more than 3 or more people. Tia, that. Tain dao, those, so those things. Ya, are. Ying jua, enemy. Or do. So he's really saying those things were done by an enemy. It's quite a bit different than English, but again, it's saying those things are, or they are the work of, they are ying jua, an enemy's doing, you could say almost. Okay. Jaw, do kei, in this case, do is an expression that means male servants. Really, do kei, do is used a lot of times, as in other languages. Doesn't necessarily mean male, but it's used in different phrases. And then QHE, because of the B here, it would normally be QHEV, but V is lost because of the B. So again, do kei, servants. So, then or therefore, hai said, zhao tu, nu him, tia that. Okay, ga you, sa can mean think, feel, or want. In this case, it mean want. Ga sa, ga, to cause or make us. In this case, bei, us, 3 or more. more take, jaw, group, cao, the bad wheat, daw, to pluck, law. Law is like a question, like really, or is that so? So they're saying, do you want us to pluck out the bad wheat? Okay, 29, he says, nu, he, they. This means answer, not field, so he answered, that. Ji cao, ji means not, but when you add cao, or cao can be by itself, it means don't, it's a command, okay? O lin dao literally means do as that, okay? Do as that. Sometimes it's used in an expression. In this case, it really means don't do as that, don't do that. Sometimes o lin dao is a way of saying okay, not here, but you can respond that way. O lin dao, it's like saying I'll do that. Okay, ja. Ja is usually, as far as I've seen, used in the negative sense, kind of like for fear that, ... and then something bad's going to happen, or something bad you're going to describe afterwards. So it's kind of an interesting word. Jay, then. Tao, when. Nay, y'all, 3 or more people. You, before 3 or more people. In English, at least in the South, they'd say y'all. Da, pluck. Jaw, the group of. Cao, the bad seed. Nay, y'all. Ha, then. Da, to pluck. Tao. Tao means, it literally means to, are able to, but in this context, it kind of means like you will pluck, achieve, or you'll pluck, get. So in other words, you will achieve plucking, okay? Jaw, the group of, a pluralizer. Ma, so the wheats. Not everything is pluralized the same way as in English. In this case, they say the wheats. Okay, oke means together. Tia, also. Let's look at 30. Tia, let. A, to, ya. The things, or in this case things, because there's 2 of them. Hla, to get big, it's a verb. Oke, together. Tsa, so that means until or arriving at. Okay, now here there's no pluralizer, there's no numerical reference, and it's not possessive, but you'll notice still there's a noun classifier. Again, general rule, if you want to generalize when one needs to use a noun classifier, is when you're specifying. You're kind of pointing at something specific and not being vague. So in this case, we're going to talk about the ... What is the? So lu is very general noun classifier for practically anything that isn't covered by another one. Okay? Jai, this means a season. Lai means to cut, slice, in other words, to harvest. So the harvest season. We're talking about a specific season. We use a noun classifier. Okay? Lu jai lai. There we go. Okay, next sentence. Tao. When. Lu jai lai. The harvest season. So when we arrive at it, when it's the harvest season. Gu. I. Your. Will. Hai. Say. Zhao. To. Jaw, the group of, or which. So jaw or means those which, or the group of which. In this case, they are the hlai, the harvesters. So the group, the plural group, which harvest. Plural group, which harvest. Jaw or hlai. So I will say to them, dia, that. And now he's going to say something. Jili. It's kind of like let's, but it's really kind of a command almost, like if you're saying, hey, let's. It's like when we say in a passive aggressive, oh, let's take care of those weeds, shall we? You're really telling them to do it, but it's softer. So same in all. Jili, shao means in this case to collect. They, various. Cao, the bad wheat. One day means before. Tia, also. More, take it. Ba, bundle it up, to tie it up. Or, in this case, or means to become. So you're bundling it to become what? Various. They. They. Couldn't find this one anywhere. Means to touch by itself. Get the context and comparing it to other languages, English or the original. It's It means piles, bundles. You get the gist of it, but I can't confirm it, okay? So that's that. Next word, hlau, is a verb that means to burn. So we're burning them. Ba, throw, like an underhand throw. J, really we say together, ba J, means to throw away. J really means to like leave it, like you're not coming back. Okay? Ha, again, kind of a pause in the sentence, but it's really saying then. Jaw, the group. Mo, so the wheats. Tili, again, that let's. More, take them, and shall, collect. And then D, stuff. So this is a serialized verb, so we have take, collect. Oh, I have it written on top. I'm not needing to write it again. But anyways, we have take, collect, stuff. English, you can't really do that, but in Hmong you can serialize verbs sometimes. So verb, verb, verb with nothing in between. But it's like a series of action. Take them, collect them, stuff them. Dao hao, I'm crossing it out, underlining it. Dao hao, into gu, my. So when it's possessive, we need a what? Noun classifier, lu. And then the noun it's classified is ca, which is a storehouse or a grain house, a place to store rice. Okay? So what are some of the things we learned? Quick summary is we use noun classifiers when we're being specific. Okay, for example, with numbers or possessive. Since we're doing this grammar stuff already, let's just give an example specifically of how noun classifiers make something specific. We make a comparison here. So if you say gu, I, nia, like, che, period, car. That's saying I like, not I like a car or I like the car, but it's saying I like cars. Not in the sense of you're looking at a group of cars right in front of you, but in the sense of very general, like, hey, I like cars. I like cars in general, right? So let's just add one word. Write it again, but gu, nia, lu, che, I like the car. Now we're talking about a car. Gu nia lu che, I like the car. So maybe you're both staring at a car, or so your friend got a new car and he's like, what do you think? Gu nia lu che. So there's this kind of the difference, and that shows the general purpose of noun classifiers. They achieve other things like helping you to understand what the noun is afterwards, differentiating between nouns that have multiple meanings, but mostly they make it specific. So hopefully that's one lesson we can get out of this, plus a bunch of vocabulary and some other things. Hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I look forward to doing some more and hopefully benefiting some others with it. All right? Thank you.